Hey everyone, I just wanted to make a video on this fight as well. Um, this fight is on the co-main event of Navarrete versus Berenchik, which I've also made a video of. If you want to check that out, I'll put it in the description. But this fight is rather, I'd say, interesting. Um, Giovani Santillan coming back after a career best victory over Alexis Rocha. And Brian Norman Jr. is his opponent, undefeated prospect, um, coming off not so great performance. So that's something I'm going to discuss in this prediction and preview. So I think the best place to start is, yeah, to do with the momentum. So what I would say is, if it wasn't for what Santillan did last time out, these guys would be in a very similar position right now. Because prior to his fight with Rocha, Santillan hadn't really impressed. He had, some contentious decisions. I'm thinking back to the fight with, um, yeah, but a couple of his fights have had contentious decisions and close fights, and just not really welled in a lot of those fights. And that's been a similar case to Brian Norman Jr. Last time out, Brian Norman Jr. He had a fight with Janelson Bocachica, who we've seen around a fair few times. I've watched a fair few of his fights. No, he's an alright fighter. And Brian Norman got hurt early on in that fight, and it ended on in a no contest. So I'd say the momentum is definitely with Santillan. And like I was saying, if it had not been for what Santillan did last time versus Alexis Rocha, we would be talking about these guys in a similar way. Let's talk about that. So last time out, um, Giovani Santillan, he went into Alexis Rocha's backyard, and basically he went to a Golden Boy show and basically just beat him down. Alexis Rocha was kind of fringe contender, shall we say. There were talks of him potentially fighting Crawford. I don't think that was ever serious conversations, but he was ranked highly in the WBO. Um, yeah, and Santillan just beat him down to a stoppage. It was really kind of brutal display, great fight, and really put his name in people's books a lot higher because nobody really thought of him in that way prior to that. And I think that's going to be the momentum he has coming into this fight. However, I I don't know if he'll get a stoppage again. Even though we saw Brian Norman get hurt in this last fight, I feel like this will be a good fight, but I feel like Brian Norman is going to try and play it safe. Even though he's going to try and play it safe, I don't think it's going to be enough for him to win the fight. But we could see some interesting exchanges, some interesting counter exchanges, and some back and forth at times. But I'm expecting Brian Norman to try and play it safe in this fight. But I just don't think he has enough to get him over the line. So for that reason, I'm going to pick Santillan by a fairly wide decision, probably around 98-92. Sorry, it's 12 rounder, around 117, 111, that kind of region. I expect Brian Norman to have some success, but I don't expect it to be sustained success. And I expect Santillan to kind of put on the pressure, especially late, because he's got a good gas tank. That's one of the best things that he's known for. He's kind of your typical volume puncher. Um, but he showed more than that in his last fight, which is going to give him momentum coming into this one. So there is a chance he could get a stoppage, but I'm going to go by him for via a point decision.